Hello and welcome to Bees to Billionaires, the only podcast where two very attractive people meet every Thursday to rank everything that both does and doesn't exist in a single itemised list from best to worst. From Bees to Billionaires, I'm Joshua Joel.
I am Emilie.
And this isn't actually going out on a Thursday. I lied. My first vile trick.
Been deceived.
It doesn't actually matter because I was actually supposed to say it in the last episode, but I didn't actually put it in my notes, so I forgot to say that we're now releasing every Thursday. I don't think I ever actually run that past you either. I just kind of decided it, and you get to live with that.
I will.
Good. You better. So this is we missed. We're running a little bit late, so this one's going to just come out randomly. But then, back on the 25th of month and year, episode 4 will be out. So isn't that fun?
That is funky and fresh.
And we have an actual cover photo now.
Oh,
well,
and it's beautiful. It
not
is
not
gorgeous.
to imply that the original Comic Sans that I put up in MS Paint wasn't an actual cover photo, but we now have an actual cover photo, and it is spicy.
Oh my god, it's so
I was made by the very handsome,
sexy,
charming, pretty, precious, cute, marvelous, bodacious, gorgeous.
Oh, so bodacious.
Holly Maddox. Man, and that's two big kisses from us.
Each cheek, same
Holly,
time.
It is. Ooh, yes. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It is actually fantastic. And I'm sure that our equally ravishing listener agrees.
You say singular, one person?
That's not beat around the bush. It's Andy. Andy listens to this because he is obligated to.
He has no choice, otherwise he's going to the gulag.
One day, one day I'll pass away, either restfully in my sleep or on the field of battle, and Andy will solemnly bow his head and say, "Thank fuck I don't have to listen to that podcast anymore." Man, I even have the list up. I'm very unprepared. There we go.
How could you? Oh.
Google Sheets, and I can see just that the column is still half on my screen. It's your nice list of
penis words.
Dirty, horrible words. You're a disgusting person.
This will be published in a book that I'm planning to write.
Once you finally finished it, we could finally we could put them all onto the list.
Oh, we'll rank the words.
As words.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if I want to. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it should be left mysterious or fully elaborated.
Obviously, every episode, whilst the list is still short enough that we can, I do want to just read out the list. So let's quickly do that. I don't mean the important list, of course. I mean the more important list, which reads cock, penis, willy, peen, schlong, dick, meat stick, pee, wood, shaft, boner, knob. Oh wait, sorry, it's boner.
Boner.
Wang, wiener, phallus.
Yeah, I think it's off to a good start.
You're going to hell.
And there will be a lot of dicks when I go there.
Thanks. That mental image has improved my day.
You're so welcome.
That's Frank the cover photo, and that's Frank Holly herself.
Oh, Holly.
Gorgeous, gorgeous Holly.
She is better than all of us combined.
Is she better than? Okay, so we're two people, and we're oh, let's also read out. I also want to read out the list because it's still short enough that we can do that. The list, as it stands, is bees, bee crabs, us, Revenge of the Sith Extended Edition, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Pokemon Platinum, A New Hope, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, the video game, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, A Single Bee, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, the Bee Butt, the Bee Brain, Hangovers, Humans, a Billionaire Bee, a regular billionaire, actually that's plural, billionaires, and also a non-believers.
Yes.
Which actually works on 2 levels. Actually, no. So a non-believer is actually very high, because people who leave bees behind are horrible people. But if you're not a believer, that's great.
That's true. That is true. So
Cool.
we've killed 2 birds with 1 stone with that.
Actually, no, we haven't, because a non-believer would be a good thing, and not the one on the list, as opposed to non-believers.
Yeah,
Anyway, Holly, and the cover photo. How are we feeling? The cover photo.
It's so well done. It's really, really good.
It's not. Am I willing to place it? My gut reaction for what kind of makes me happy was to give it the numbers 10 slot. So say it's worse than Star Wars: A New Hope, but better than Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, the video game. Can I also just establish, when we say Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, the video game, do we mean both versions, or do we mean just the console version? Because the DS had its own exclusive version of the game that was different. It had mini games in it, and there was a General Grievous one, and it was the best one.
I don't know. You see, I haven't played either, or very briefly. I've played the app, the one that they made on Swin app.
Yeah, that is the console version, but they edited it, and they gave you some of the characters for free as well, which I really disliked.
Yeah. I think maybe we should leave them as the same, so it doesn't get too complicated.
Okay. Just for now. But I have recently. It was just a few months ago. I actually went back and 100% my childhood save file on Lego Star Wars, the Complete Saga, the DS version. That was fun.
Nice. I'm still trying to get all the gold bricks and everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is actually. It's harder on the console version because there's just more content in it. Anyway, so my gut reaction was to put the cover photo above Lego Star Wars. But that is hundreds of hours of joy versus one spectacular, shiny PNG file and or JPEG.
But think of the effort and the hard work that went behind it. Out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah. Yes. Lego Star Wars does have the audacity to put a price on art. Whereas Holly doesn't, because she said I didn't have to pay her, which I was secretly very happy about. But publicly I was like, oh no,
please
geez,
let me pay you.
I'll have to buy you lunch at some point. What? There's a pandemic on, and you live a couple hours drive away. What a shame.
That really puts a damper in things.
Oh, darn it. I don't know
Corona
if the mic
strikes
picked
again.
up my my knee slap. I really hope it did. Yeah, okay. So cover photo are better than Lego Star Wars. Are we just rolling with that?
Yeah. I think for us, yeah. And for us also, therefore.
But it's not supposed to be for us. This is supposed to be an objective list. It's my
you see, everyone has to agree with us. So if we think it is, then yeah.
I don't think it's because they have to agree with us. It's because they don't. It's because the list is objective.
It's highly suggested that they do agree with us.
Yeah, but that's because the list is objective. We can't say it's subjective, but because we believe in it, it becomes objective, and everyone has to listen to it. We're saying that we are, of course, between the two of us, we average to the average human, I think, and therefore, as long as we think objectively, it is objective or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's better than Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, the video game. And let me just be very quiet for 10 seconds whilst I type into the list. Emilie, quick, say something.
Oh gosh. Well.
Be entertaining. Be funny.
Give more of a backstory
I'm not
on
laughing.
Holly, the beautiful boy. Well, not boy. Sorry about that.
Boy's a gender neutral term.
Yeah. The Oh my gosh. Oh, you can't put me on the spot like this. Yeah, we love Holly. We really appreciate. I feel like I never say it in enough of a genuine voice, but really do appreciate Holly here. This is a Holly fan club.
Yeah, I'm a whole It doesn't work. It doesn't work for names outside of Pavan. And also this joke doesn't work because it's a joke between us two, and not the dear listener. We have a friend called Pavan, and we say that we're his Pavans.
Yeah, all help a man.
And I'm also a Holfen.
Holfen. Is that for Holly?
That makes me sound like like Holly has orphaned me or something.
I'm a Holly buddy. I'm a Bud Holly.
A Holfenite.
I'm a Holly no, not phobic. I'm a
yeah.
What is it when you're addicted to something? You're
Holophile.
No, I'm
A
thinking of
holic.
like
A hollyholic.
A hollyholic. There you
There
go.
we
Yeah.
go. That's brilliant.
Oh, I can't wait for you to listen back to that and just hear us going.
I would be willing to put her directly below us. That's the
Oh, I
highest
would
she's
be
going to get on
willing
the
to stay
list.
directly above us, though.
Yeah, but
Or does that bring down our net value of
that
approximately
is
£2?
exactly correct. She's going in slot 5. I'm not. The longer we argue about it, the more I'm going to be sat publicly telling people that I'm better than Holly. So if I just go it swiftly, it'll be less bad.
Okay, fine.
I think she's fine with us using her surname. She seemed to not have an issue with it.
Yeah, I don't think it's been said too much. It's all good.
I don't think the frequency with which you say something that someone might not want publicly known doesn't
It's
make
less
it better or
memorable,
worse.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
I think.
What, are you saying she's not memorable?
How dare you? I would never insinuate such a thing.
No, she's fine with it.
I
She's
think
fine.
of her every day.
Oh, so do I. In my dreams, she visits me.
In my daydream, visits me. I think that's a bit of a one-up.
That's just that's an awkward pause. As I was about to say something, but I forgot. That's fine. We'll test my editing skills. I'll remove the awkward pause. Just kidding. No, I won't.
Extend it, make it longer.
How's your
Embrace.
week been?
This week's been, it's been something. It's been a hectic one. I won't indulge. I'll leave it mysterious. But how's your week been?
It's been fine.
Been a week, or
It's just been.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll ignore the possible repercussions of the fact that I've spent like every day for the past like couple months desperately looking forward to my movie night so that I have an excuse to just drink heavily.
I see.
No, and we were last episode. Last episode, it kind of went on for too long, and I do apologise for that. But I was trying to get through the backlog of films that the movie nights watch, so that we can, so that they're all on the list, and then we can have a little. We could be all caught up and have a little movie section.
Yeah.
I think that'd be sweet. And
Speaking of which,
do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
yeah.
Because the last 4 movies was Kung Fu Panda, followed by the Broly movie, which is a dirty, disgusting Dragon Ball film. Followed by Kung Fu Panda 2, and then followed by Kung Fu Panda 3. We then also watched, afterwards we watched, so this would have been the Saturday just gone, we started to watch Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Tenacious D is Jack Black's duo with Kyle Gass, brilliant rock comedy band, and the film sees them hunting the Pick of Destiny, which is a guitar pick forged from the tooth of Satan, that any person who uses it to strum their guitar will be the the greatest guitar player known to man. And they
God, I
suck.
wish that
Their
were me.
band sucks, so they gotta go hunt it. Turns out that hated enemy of this podcast, absolute fool that we despise, Luke, who was live streaming the movie to us over Discord share screen. He has his mute button on Discord bound to the back button on his mouse, which when you're playing a game is fine, but the back button on a mouse is automatically bound to be going back on a web page. And he tried to mute his mic at one point and unloaded the page. And that's fine, but it turned out that the player we were using... I'm also just realising that it's going to become more and more obvious that we're pirating this film as I go on.
Yeah.
Turns out that the web player, you couldn't scrub forwards and backwards. You could just play and pause. So when it reloaded, we were 40 minutes behind where we were before, and we failed to find any other means to watch the film. So we just stopped, and it was very heart-wrenching.
Yeah, so to make up for that, we listened to... I don't want to mess it up, but I don't know if it's songs from the film or just songs that
But
we
listened to some Tenacious D songs, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we watched, at one point or another, I forced you all to watch my favourite episode of Community. Season 3, episode 4.
Which one is that again? Remind me.
BAFTA-nominated a Remedial Chaos Theory.
Oh, that's the
It's
one
the
where
Timelines episode.
they keep jumping in and out. No, not jumping, but the pizza. Where they're going to get the pizza and different stuff keeps happening.
Yes. The premise of the episode is that it's 6 different timelines, and where the only difference is a roll of the dice that determines who goes to get pizza. Excellent episode. They managed to explore all the characters in a very smart way with that. Because you're putting them into the same situation again and again, but slightly different, and seeing how they act differently. It's really, really cool. But yeah, so do we want to talk about Kung Fu Panda?
I think we should.
How long
Are
has
we
it
talking about
been
each one individually?
since-
Or...
Yeah, we'll talk about them in turn.
Okay.
How long has it been since you? Yeah, and we'll review them in turn as well. They're going onto the list separately, not
Okay.
just as a franchise. How long has it been since you watched Kung Fu Panda? Did you show up to any of these movie nights?
I was not. I have not been at the movie nights when they've been playing.
Oh,
But it's
what a
been a long time.
surprise!
Oh, don't
They
make me feel bad
are-
like this.
Exceptionally good films. I forgot how. I'd only seen the first one, and I forgot how brilliant they were. But then, and it is a really, really funny film. And then the second and third are just spectacular as well.
I think the first one is obviously iconic with Master Oogway and his little
Yeah.
speeches about what is he?
I
The
actually-
past is a... Oh my
wait,
God, I can't even
am
quote it.
am I spoiling the rest of the series to you? Have you watched all 3?
I have, but I have a
okay.
vague memory of it.
Because I prefer Oogway in the third one. I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
Okay. In the third one,
And the third one,
Oogway the
Um,
turtle.
Oogway the turtle. In
Oh,
the
this
third
does sound
movie,
familiar, but I don't remember. This is fine.
Kung Fu Panda 1 is about a weeaboo named Jack Black, who also happens to be a panda, and he likes to collect his kung fu action figures of the Furious Five. And of course, by a hilarious turn of events, he ends up being proclaimed by Master Oogway the Turtle, who's like 1,000 years old and invented kung fu all those years ago. Po is declared to be the legendary, mythical, foretold Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
And what hijinks! Ooh, what funny knee-slapping comedy is to come. And
Then we watch him get trained and how he develops his relationships with the other warriors.
yeah, I mean, what more has to be said? I mean, I don't think many people haven't seen this film, to be perfectly honest. Especially
Yeah, I
of
mean,
our
it's a
age
kids'
group.
movie, and I think we've all grown up watching it.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if other people missed the others as I did. I think just because of, I was growing up. I was becoming a big boy by the time the second and third one came out. But
Oh, I don't think that stopped me from watching them.
well, yeah, I say that as if this list doesn't currently have Star Wars and Pokemon on it.
Yeah, good point.
As if I'm not currently staring at a Darth Vader Mr. Potato Head. So I really can't say anything about my maturity or whatever. I'll say that maybe as an immature child, I thought I was too mature for Kung Fu Panda. It's very likely. I was foolish.
You were not wise in the way of humility.
Yeah. So, very simply, where do we want to put it? My, honestly, gut reaction. Oh, I don't know if I like this film better or worse than Star Wars. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with.
Would it be presumptuous for me to turn around and say that this is maybe? Oh, this is incredibly hard now. Maybe just below A New Hope. Maybe above it. I think it's definitely, in my mind, I think it's sharing the spotlight. It's right alongside A New Hope. Is my thinking.
That's what I was going to say as well.
All right.
I don't know above or below, but around there.
We can go above. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Kung Fu Panda, blammo, number 10 on the list of 23. Gorgeous.
23 is a disgusting number.
Okay, so Kung Fu Panda 2, let's just move swiftly onwards, is a very charming little flick.
Who's the big bad villain in Kung Fu Panda 2?
The big bad villain is... So the film opens with he's a peacock with like one metallic prosthetic leg, and he's got a British accent, which is perfect movie villain is of course someone with a physical disability and a British voice. And he struts in up to 3 masters of Kung Fu. I think it's Rhino, Ox, and Crocodile, and Rhino's the big leader, and they're all like, "Oh, you're a big baddie, and we rule this land now." And he's like, "Nope, this is my house, this palace," and then he pulls out a cannon and kills the Rhino.
Oh.
And that's the cold open of the film. And we cut to credits, opening credits. And the film, so very quickly, Poe, he's gotten taller, he's gotten skinnier, he's looking, man,
he's become a health guru.
That boy is a bear, if you know what I'm saying. And him and his 5 bestest friends are out saving the land. He's basically a celebrity. Tragedy strikes, well, not really, but his father, the goose, Mr. Ping, tells him that he's actually adopted. And it's heart-wrenching. We get a beautiful moment between Poe and Tigress where she's like, she realizes that he didn't realize he was adopted, and then comforts him anyway, and it's very
I do
peaceful.
remember this. Very wholesome moment.
Very wholesome moment. And she talks about how she trained to be so, cold and tactical and powerful by standing outside and punching trees for like 10 years. And Poe asks if there's just a faster track, a faster way. Anyway, so the main villain of of the film, he's like preparing to like murder this man and restore peace to China, which is a bit harsh. And as he's about to do it, he gets a random flashback, and he doesn't know what's happening. He feels like some big moment, some big day, some trauma he doesn't realize he had, and this guy was there, and so he can't kill him. He's like, I gotta know what this guy knows. Throughout the film, it becomes apparent that this big bad villain, having heard a prophecy that he would be defeated by a warrior of black and white, committed genocide against the Pandas.
Oh, and this is why Poe got adopted, isn't it?
Yes, he gets put in a radish box and shipped away, and he watches his mother kind of running over the hill, chased by hyenas, very obviously going to die. I think it's hyenas anyway.
Yeah.
Or jackals, but yes, it's the film does deal the film's got a large theme of genocide, and that's fun.
I think it's good to teach kids young about genocide.
But it's a very sweet film, and I don't think much more needs to be said about it.
I don't remember it, but I remember that I did really enjoy it.
I cried in it 3 times.
Oh.
A part of me wants to say, well, I was drunk, but that's not act like that had anything to do with it. Yeah, what a brilliant movie. That's all there is to say on the matter. I want to put it directly above Kung Fu Panda 2, not gonna lie.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that.
I still think that maybe Pokemon Platinum is a little bit better. So yeah, Pokemon Platinum, Kung Fu Panda 2, Kung Fu Panda, followed by Star Wars: A New Hope. So that's good to me, and I feel like maybe this isn't good podcast listening. Who knows? Screw it. People aren't here to listen to a good podcast. They know what they're into by now. This is Kung Fu Panda 3. Poe kills himself. Spoilers.
Oh.
I probably thought before I said that, but I don't care. Poe kills himself in this film.
Great. I was unaware.
That's not. I'm not lying. I'm not wrong. That is verbatim what happens on screen. This film, Poe's dad shows up because it turns out that he's alive. The final shot of Kung Fu Panda 2, by the way, is a distant panda in a bamboo forest, surrounded by other pandas. He looks up into the sky and gasps, and it's like, my son is alive, and ooh. And it's Poe's dad, and he shows up, and Mr. Ping is very angry that someone else is trying to be a father to his son. And it's very sad. And then Poe goes to live with the pandas, and then he kills himself. The main villain of this film is a spirit warrior. He's a dead guy.
Also known as mental illness?
500 years ago, Oogway defeated his brother, who had betrayed him and lusted for power. And apparently over 500 years, this guy, his name is Kai, has basically killed everyone in the afterlife and absorbed their spiritual energy, their chi. And Oogway, who's vibing in the afterlife, Kai goes and kills him too in heaven.
Oh, so Oogway has to die a second time.
Steals his soul, and then Kai comes out and wants to vibe in the mortal realm and absorb more people's chi. And I guess I'll just spoil this one as well. Oh, I'll spoil this one even more. Sorry. At the climax of the film, Poe raises an army after all of his friends are dead, and he literally Master Shifu, the Furious Five, they're all dead. Again, that's another spoiler. He declares that if his if he raised an army to occupy the zombie hordes that this guy is basically ruling over, then he can get in close and use his ultimate attack, the Wushu finger hold, which is nice. I like how they bring that back from the first film. And it turns out it doesn't work on people on people who aren't mortals. This guy's already dead, so it's not gonna. The insta-kill move won't do anything. And upon realizing that it only works on mortals, Poe bear hugs the guy and does it on himself, and brings them both into the afterlife, hence killing himself. And then the credits roll and it's over. We get some more cool scenes with Oogway. I think I'm ready to just declare that this film has. I shouldn't look for Christ imagery in every single film, but I do, because everyone loves some Christ imagery. And I'm ready to declare that Poe is the Messiah.
He follows a similar story.
Oogway gives Oogway the father, Poe the son, and Mr. Ping and his secret ingredient noodle soup, the Holy Ghost. Yep. And Oogway comes back to life in the afterlife. He gives Poe a cool stick, and then credits roll. Pretty much.
That description of the movie, without knowing it was Kung Fu Panda, I think Kung Fu Panda is the last movie I would have ever guessed for it.
After watching this film, we looked up some Mr. Ping X. I've forgotten the name of Poe's biological father. Of course, they make up by the end of the film, and it's all very sweet. And they're like, "Oh, we both care for this boy. We can be united in that." Yes, in that regard. And we did find some gay fan fiction of these two characters, and we read it, and it was really funny, and they did fuck. They had sex, but it wasn't like on screen. It was like there was these it sucked because the author it read like Kung Fu Panda, and the characters behaved in a way that I honestly think is realistic and works, and that makes it worse. Because
maybe this is just what the screen director is doing in his free time, or whoever wrote the screenplay.
Is lying like on top of the panda's big warm belly, and he's scooped up by his powerful arms, and he like squawks occasionally when he's getting like hugged, and they're about to do it, and then it cuts away.
I suppose we're gonna rank this fanfiction too.
We get some hilarious hijinks of Tigress, of Poe being like, "I wonder where my dads are," and Tigress having worked out what's going on, being like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. We don't need to find them right now." It was cursed.
It does sound
somewhat wholesome.
It does sound wholesome in the same way, but
it was very, and they're like, I think at the end, his name's Lee, I think, Poe's dad. He decides that he's going to come and live in the noodle shop with Mr. Ping, and Poe happily accepts his two gay dads.
What a supportive ally.
Yeah. Can I put Kung Fu Panda 3 between Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2? Okay, they make me cry, although...
So we're saying the second one is the best?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like... I think I probably enjoyed the third one more, and I don't think, crying is the metric that you should always measure films by, but... It does mean that it hit me a lot harder, so I'm fine with declaring that. I really like representations of the afterlife in film, though. And I like death and resurrection and just explorations of a fictionalized afterlife. I love it. I really enjoy it, even though it's even if it's just kind of a set piece for like an epic battle, which is what it was.
Yeah.
Especially at the film. Genuinely, okay. Stop watching the podcast. I shouldn't say that. Go on YouTube and just look up Oogway versus Kai. Just the opening scene of Kung Fu Panda 3. It is brilliant. Oogway's theme is, they've like remade. Before it was in the first film, it was very transcendent and like nice. You know that, and because he's always stood on the cherry blossom tree. He's giving sage advice. It was all very peaceful. Now it's been. You've got this big orchestra playing. It's a battle theme, but it's still got that kind of wisdom to it. It is fantastic.
Oh, I love when people can pull off like a good soundtrack in a movie.
Any good theme, it can work both as a battle theme and the emotional theme. That's like, it's why I haven't watched there was an anime. It's a shonen, which is typically a bit cringe. Not gonna lie, the whole genre of shonen is a little bit wacky sometimes. But it was called Fairy Tail, and it was really good. But the only thing I can remember from it, I watched like 170 episodes of this show. The only thing I can remember from it is the battle theme. It was like this
good quality music then, yeah.
There was like someone was setting their violin on fire, and of course, like all violin music, they slowed it right down, and it could move you to tears. You had these very good stuff. What do we talk about now? We could put the fan fiction on the list if we really wanted to.
I know
know if
literally
I
nothing
do.
about it, so I think even with my limited remembering of Kung Fu movies, maybe we can leave it.
I think we can leave out the lewd, gay Mr. Ping X, Li Sheng ? Fan fiction.
Yeah, okay. But instead, that reminds me actually, recently
Yeah.
I've watched Night at the Museum, just the first one.
Just the first one.
But oh
Okay.
my gosh, it's such a good film.
Fair enough.
Do you remember watching it as well?
I do remember it. I don't know if I think it's a great film. I remember that the second one sucks.
We're watching the second one
But I'm
soon,
not sure about the
but
first one. Oh, it's not very good.
but no, I don't know. I think it's just remembering how I felt watching it as a kid. But something about museums is just so cool, and I love the little Owen Wilson character, the little baby cowboy.
Yes, the little baby cowboy.
Oh, what a cutie! I just wanted to squish him under my shoe.
Owen Wilson is a spectacular man.
I love him. I love how he's always the
Wow.
same character, and yet so interesting to watch.
Yes, yeah, he's kind of one of those characters, one of those actors, even, isn't he?
Him and Ben Stiller, they're just always together, and I love
Yeah.
their little duo.
I was gonna say that Ben Stiller is always the same character, but actually, I don't think he is. I think he does feel vastly different in Zoolander compared to Night at the Museum, but he still is always Ben Stiller, you know.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching a bit of The Crown recently. Someone made a joke about the Doctor marrying into the royal family. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I had to remember that Prince Philip in The Crown is being played by Matt Smith, who also played the 11th iteration of Doctor Who.
Oh right.
And
Yeah, I
I
haven't
was
been watching-
completely, I wasn't even seeing him as Matt Smith, I guess, and I don't really experience that with Ben Stiller to the same extent. I don't know if that says anything about them as actors or if that's just a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always like, oh, that's the guy that was in this movie, or yeah. No, I get what you mean though. Yeah, I don't know if then his films would be rank worthy.
Well, we can do. I mean, I haven't watched them recently, which means
Yeah, well, I think they'll be quite low
A
on the
little
list
bit.
anyway.
where would you put them?
Oh, definitely below, of course,
I'm
Pokemon,
gonna,
Star Wars, and all that.
yeah, I was gonna say. So we got, so starting from 16, we've got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, a singular B, Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. Is it worse than all of those? I don't know. I think. How are you feeling?
I want to say better, but that's only because I've more recently watched it, and I liked it.
You want to say it's? My gut reaction is that it's worse than Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so are we better or worse than a singular B?
That's where the real difficulty lies, because yes, it's a good film, but
I feel like I haven't watched it recently enough to say anything, but I like bees.
mm, let's put it underneath a single
I
B,
like.
but above Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
All right, cool. Quick, be funny.
Uh, Up Dog.
Ah, you did it again. I don't know how every time you knock it out of the park. That's a classic Diaz. Ooh,
Uh,
baby.
Comedy gold here, yeah.
I should have actually said what's up, dog, instead of just saying that it was funny. I could
Yeah,
have really carried the joke home, but it's
I know,
fine.
I
It's
know.
funny by
We'll get it next
association.
time. Next time we'll try again.
Yeah.
Now that everyone
Uh,
is aware what the joke is.
cool, brilliant. Uh, I'm out of it. I can't. I don't know if I can be. I don't know if I can be funny anymore.
Recent news and events. Banksy. There is a Banksy in Reading on a prison
There
wall.
is. Yeah, so that they can't knock it down or turn it into flats or whatever they're going to do. I think.
But
I think,
government said that no, they're not going to protect it just because it has a Banksy on it. So,
which is kind of, which I can't get. Not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think someone was debating turning it into an art thing. I think, especially as like people often talk about. I don't know if it actually affects the conversation, but people like to bring up the fact that Oscar Wilde was in prison there for being gay, and
Yeah.
he did a good old art or whatever. He was a poet, wasn't he?
He was a poet, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I think Banksy was supposedly, weighing in by doing some art. And that was his way of saying, art, good, do an art here. Um, but
Yeah, but he put it on the outer wall, so I get the feeling what they're going to do. They're just going to cut the bit of the
they
wall
could
off,
just they could just
leave the wall,
knock it all
and build
down
the
aside from
rest.
one wall. Yes, that is kind of what I'm expecting them to do as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I mean, at least if the government wants to sell it privately, um, which I guess is what they're doing, then they could probably charge a higher price for it now. So, thanks, Maxi. That's more money for us to pay for track and trace schemes that don't work.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple. I don't know how much Banksies go for. A few, maybe an extra 100 grand. Who knows?
I don't know actually. I know that recent one, the was it the one that got shredded by itself? Didn't that go for a few million?
Yes. Probably. It was Man, yeah, so that's the one where the shredder didn't actually it like got jammed like halfway through though. The whole
Yeah.
big meme that Banksy did is it was it got sold and then shredded after it had a shredder built into the frame, so that after it had been sold and the money had been spent, it would shred itself, but only shred itself halfway. And honestly, we all know that either way, if it fully shredded or not, the value was going to go up drastically.
Yeah, yeah, but the fact that it's one whole piece and now you
And
can
it's
buy
it's
it as
still in
one
one
whole
whole
piece.
piece. But it is funny that it's gone up in value from a whole demonstration which was objecting to the overvaluing of art. Maybe not the overvaluing, but the over capitalism. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get the point you're trying to make. The value of art
Um,
when something's just so it's
yeah,
excessive to pay these prices sometimes.
yeah. Give the money to me. Just give me
Exactly.
the money. I don't. That's one thing that we everyone should take away from this podcast. The reason billionaires are so low, it's not because they're bad people or we hate them or they're
In
crapping
wealth.
on their own workers or hoarding wealth or anything. It's just because I want the money.
Yeah. So we could solve the issues of there being
Give
too
it
many
to
billionaires if we only
me.
had one billionaire.
If
And
we
that
if
one billionaire should be Josh.
it should be I wanna buy the Wahoo Kicker Smart Bike, and it costs $3,000. If you just give me the money.
Just give him the money.
Um, where does money go on the list? Ooh, this could
Oh,
be a bad
that's a
thing.
topical.
That's yeah. What the idea of currency? How do you feel about that?
I think the idea of instead of having to trade for physical things, having like an IOU in the form of like money, I think that's a great idea. Brilliant idea.
Yeah, and I feel like it's very hard to. I feel like is it hard to instate a currency? Probably. It's probably extremely hard unless you're a recognized government to establish a currency.
Yeah, because I mean, what they
So
did before, they just had little
it's
rocks, and
very
they were
very
like, "Oh, this
valuable.
rock is worth £1." But then, what stops people from making their own rocks? So I think having
I don't know if that is exactly how it went, but yeah. I mean, if you
let's
look up,
pretend it if I'm wrong.
I've looked up in the past medieval currencies, and like half of them are just like, yeah, this was coined in this year, and the merchants didn't trust the money, and they didn't think people would accept selling goods for them, so the merchants never accepted the money, and so it never took on, and so this there was 500 coins minted, and they went they're now in museums. They were never used as currency, and there's a lot of
Nice.
currencies like that. Um, currencies, yeah, currencies are in a weird way. Currencies are a very good way to almost show power. The video game Fallout New Vegas, which is genuinely a work of art, one of the honestly best games ever made. If I'm
They
to be
use
honest,
the Nuka-Cola lids, right?
they they use so bottle caps have always been they've been currency in Fallout since well in Fallout 1 they used bottle caps. In Fallout 2 they had stopped, or at least they only slightly used them, rarely, because in Fallout 1 or 2 like people basically were just very basic settlers of the wilderness. They weren't like Fallout 4 is humanity has advanced less in the most recent Fallout games than in the originals because they sold the Fallout IP to Bethesda, and Bethesda's bad at making Fallout games.
They
Basically,
fucked it.
they were like, instead of being people surviving and trying to grow and rebuild humanity in a wasteland, instead it's just a bunch of people who really like 50s merch, and they're living in broken houses from when the bombs dropped over 200 years ago, and there's still skeletons lining the street. Nothing's changed. It's just, which isn't necessarily bad, to be fair, but it's an oxymoron to the rest of the first half of the Fallout franchise.
Yeah, it takes away
But
from
anyway,
the efforts that they made.
yeah. After they sold the Fallout IP to Bethesda made Fallout 3. They made their first Fallout game. It sucked. It's the worst one. Then, because the first company had gone bankrupt, which is why they sold the Fallout creative license, a bunch of people from that old company made their own games company. This is Obsidian Entertainment, and they asked Bethesda, "Can we make a Fallout game, pretty please?" And they were allowed to, and they made Fallout New Vegas, the best one, arguably, in my opinion, the best modern one. Obviously, the first two games are very wildly different to modern Fallout in gameplay and presentation and stuff. So if you just talk about the modern ones, then I do believe without a shadow of a doubt, New Vegas is kind of the best one. Anyway, this is a very long-winded way of getting to the point where they show the political destability by the fact that there are 3 currencies. And
In one region, there are 3 currencies.
yes, so you've got the denarii, the Roman Latin coins with the Caesar's face on it, and then you've got the notes of the NCR, which are trying to rebuild the old American government essentially, and so they're reminiscent of old world currency. And then you've also still got bottle caps, and yeah. I also I find it funny that they basically have different value depending on who you're talking to, or maybe they don't. Maybe I'm making that fact up, but they do say explicitly in game that the NCR, if you do any jobs for them, they're the North Carolina Republic, FYI, or the New Carolina Republic.
Yeah.
But their notes explicitly aren't worth as much in this area of the world where all this political instability is happening because people don't necessarily trust the NCR. So you're basically, if you do any jobs for them, you essentially get underpaid because the currency isn't worth as much as it's supposed to be in this part of the world, and that's cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a lot of
smart.
little detail, yeah.
And I might be making up the fact that the Legion Denarius are a lot more valuable in Legion territory as opposed to the rest of the wasteland, but I might be making that up.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean that game's really good. Like the big bad guys of the game are literally crucifying people, but you can go talk to their leader and he has developed philosophical ideas of why he's doing it, and you can have a big old debate on it. I really like that in a video game. And there's I don't want to. I could rant about it for hours, and none of my thoughts would be very well developed. So I'll try and stop myself.
Okay, so we're ranking money, and are we also ranking Fallout?
Sure. So currency as a concept,
as a concept, very good. I will say.
So the idea of a token that represents a value. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, I have no idea what we were saying.
Money is a concept, a token that represents value.
Yes. Okay, so currency as a concept. Sure. Should we just put it just below Holly Maddox?
Yeah. Yeah.
A part of me wants to. I feel dirty and disgusting for saying that this is better than Revenge of the Sith Extended Edition, but I think that might be the right idea.
Yeah, because with currency we can buy a Revenge of the Sith without having to trade.
Yeah, without having to make many loaves of bread.
Yeah, so in a sense, this speeds up the process of us acquiring Star Wars.
That is true. But that means that piracy must be higher. Yeah?
Yeah, but full cost.
Yeah. I have shoplifting and robbery. Top of the list. I feel like this podcast has become too anti-capitalist. It was
There's
never
nothing wrong with
intended.
that.
I'm not even exceptionally. I guess I am left wing, but I'm not even super far that way. But oh well. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is a political podcast now. Let's kill Jeff Bezos.
We should have a rank billionaires episodes.
That would be fantastic. Yeah. We could also do different species of bee. That could be nice.
Oh yeah, honeybee versus bumblebee.
Yeah.
Quite like that.
So for New Vegas, I am willing to. Oh, I'm willing to put that just under the Revenge of the Sith Extended Edition.
Okay, I've heard Enough good things to agree with
Maybe,
that.
hopefully that's not too high. Man, I really like the DLC in Fallout New Vegas. What they do is all the DLC happen in their own area, so they cut you off from the main map and they say you can't return to the rest of the game until you finish with the DLC. And once you finish the DLC, you can't go back to the area in most cases, I think.
Unless you buy the
Um,
DLC again, or
no, no. It's well, yeah, if you start a new save file or you load your save file from before you went and did the DLC, you can. But it's because it's essentially if a regular quest or in like Fallout is like an episode of a TV show.
right? Okay, no, I
Like
get that.
nothing can the status quo can't change. It can shift slightly, but it can't change too much, or at least except from like the season finale, which of course is the end of the game, and Fallout does, and that is true. Fallout New Vegas, it's one of those games where the second you finish it, it boots you back to a previous save file. You're not able to keep playing after the end of the game because
Yeah.
the status quo shifts so much in the final bit, which is kind of annoying. It's a bit dissatisfying to go back from to like a previous save point, but it means they've got way more narrative freedom, which is nice. But yeah, and if that's an episode of a TV show, all the DLC is basically a little movie in its own right.
Cool.
You've got this new map and like every location and enemy and person you can chat to. It's all kind of trying to build this whole environment and this basically a whole narrative just in the kind of the set dressing. You don't have to worry about like if you really want to put aliens in your game somewhere you can, and it's the DLC is able to separate itself almost entirely from the rest of the game and be its completely unique in its setting, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Like one of them sees you get kidnapped and you wake up with a bomb collar slapped to your neck, and you have to go do a casino heist from a casino that like protected itself with a security system when the bombs dropped and the world ended. But it's got like zombies and shit, and it's good, and it's terrifying. And another one is based off science, like really pulpy, like early black and white television sci-fi. The main villain is called Dr. Mobius,
Okay.
and it's quality. That's all there is to say on the matter.
Very good. So deserving of its
Um,
rank then.
yeah, I think so. I hope so. You should play it at some point. It's good.
Yeah, I think we'll.
Should we wrap up there? Because
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like a lot of this podcast is me ranting about things, and I won't apologise for that.
No, you shouldn't.
But those are my very undefined, unquantified views on Kung Fu Panda and Fallout New Vegas. Who knows if it'll make good listening, but there you go.
It will be listened to nonetheless.
We'll be listening to. You're welcome, Andy. This is your fate. This is the grave you've dug. Man, it's been good. Thank you.
It has
Thank
been,
you
yeah.
very much for coming along with me on this wild ride, Emily, and also
Thank you for listening,
the
Andy.
sweet listener, Andrew. Mwah.
Moi.
I love you very, very dearly. Bye, I guess.
Ah, bye. Has it stopped recording? No, it hasn't. I pressed the stop button this time. Oh, it did the same thing as last time.